One of the aspirants that lost out in the APC Anambra State governorship primaries, George Moghalu, says the party should put the contest behind it and work for the overall interest of the country. Moghalu was reacting to the ruling that named him as the winner of the APC primaries and nullified Andy Uba's candidacy on the ground that Uba emerged from an illegally conducted primary election. Moghalu says it is necessary for the party to come together in unity and resolve all differences.
My position very clear, that if the party does not do what is right, that I will seek judicial redress. Not in a situation where even INEC themselves came out to say no primaries took place. So it's not about me not wanting my party. It is about my party not doing what is right. It is about somebody expecting that at my level, I will sit back and watch such manifestation of impunity. I will not accept that because it is not right. It is morally reprehensible. It is wrong. For every sincere APC member who loves the party, what should concern everybody now is unifying the party. Getting our party to be together, get our party to work together, resolve our issues, and address the challenge before us. Because what we need to think of doing now is to rebuild the party, win back the confidence of the people, and not wasting our time struggling for leadership.
All right, to discuss these political issues, let's bring in Honorable Iheanacho Obioma, the APC chairman-elect for Abia State, as well as Arise analyst Frank Tietie. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on Newsnight. Let's take it off, Honorable Iheanacho, from the Abia crisis. It seems it's not about to be resolved anytime soon with developments where a party to that reconciliation did not show up.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. For those who are well abreast with Abia politics and who also know much about the man who refused to show up, called Ike, it wouldn't be a surprise to any.
Why is that?
He's a man who does not want to play with anybody. He wants to just play with those who will issue out directives and then they will obey him. A man who had never attended any party meeting for over 3-4 years that he had been in this party. He only plays his party in Abuja. And then uses his tentacles and his influence within here to think he can impose himself. He doesn't respect anybody. Before the state congresses, the governor of Imo State invited the Abia warring factions to see how he can settle the dispute. He did not show up and said that Uzodimma derives his power where he gets his own too. And he never showed up. Today, we are all invited to come and see how this crisis will be resolved. And this crisis is actually a crisis that on its own shouldn't have existed. That a crisis that the national secretary of the party, who is a very close friend of the man, insisted that he wants to hand over our party to him as if it's a personal decision. So he didn't come. And then I think the visitation was well handled. The committee looked at all the issues, all the complaints. I think they were satisfied. And then the man that would have been there to state his own side of the story, because he knows he has nothing to state. He knows he was coming from behind to steal what he never built for. He thought that political party is a private company. It's not. And he never showed up. And I thank God that it went very well. All the who is who in Abia politics that is in APC was there. And nobody was left out. And to that extent, anybody that is contemplating that he can use public interest to do largesse to a friend, that it can't work.
So, Iheanacho, are you saying that Is it Ifeanyi?
Yes.
Are you saying he's an agent provocateur? Because you don't seem to have anything, good to say about his politicking.
Yes, sir. The truth is that even the National Secretariat knows that he's a suspended member. He was suspended in his ward because of anti-party activities, suspended in local government, and then in the state. And then that is before the National Party, the office. But they tried to look the other way because of interest they have in him. This is a man who had all the elections he had contested, he lost all of them. And at any time he entered any political party, sir, go and investigate. He comes with trouble. Every minute he's in court. Anytime he can't find his way, he can't get through with his way, he's in court. The last 2019 election, he was in court up to Supreme Court, challenging our Guba candidate. That was very, very clear. And I can tell you, this is a party in 2014, 2015, we didn't win any seat. In 2019, we won a senator. We won two federal house members. We won 3 House of Assembly members, which means we are growing and progressing.
Okay.
Hoping that by 2023, we are going to win the governorship, which every Abia person is expecting us to do.
Okay.
But I can tell you that those over here who are working with him want to destroy the party. I want to allow them.
Okay. All right, let's quickly take it to Frank Tietie. Frank, let's go to the issue of zoning. Of course, 2023 on the mind of so many, including the Southern and Middle Belt Forum, who are saying any political party that does not zone the presidency to the south will get none of their votes. Is it too much to ask? What do you think?
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's not too much to ask. The thing that should bother is why would they have to restate it, because it is an existing understanding that has been in our politics for many years. I'm talking about right from 1979 through to 1999, and especially in 2011, when it became very manifestly a part of our political lexicon. Zoning for our country, it's an unwritten law. It's there in the spirit of zoning is in the Constitution, particularly in Section 14 of the Constitution. It is also a serious part of our political culture to enhance stability. Even if you go back to our history from the 1950s, particularly from 1953, when the call for independence was first made, zoning was a major consideration as we approached independence in 1960. So zoning, as we have it in our own definition in Nigeria, peculiarly to our Nigerian politics all over the world, is that when a section of the country has had a fair shot and a fair share at controlling presidential power, the other section of the country should. Interestingly, zoning hasn't been divided among regions. Rather, it has been between the north and south divide. When it goes to the south, then regions may be considered. But so far that zoning has been very much applied in our politics. In 1979, it has been between north and south. In 1999, it has been between north and south, but with particular reference that it must be to the benefit of southwestern Nigeria. In this case, we have had President Muhammadu Buhari staying as president for 8 years. The only expected thing is that by way of rotational presidency, which is unwritten and unspoken most times, it is now the turn of southern Nigeria. So the forum didn't need to really state it in such plain terms. It is an understanding that I believe that the APC as a party is firmly considering very, very strongly in its own interest by applying it.
All right, we'll take a short break and return with more on this.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Newsnight. We're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We still have in our off-site studio Frank Tietie, Arise analyst, And here with us is Iheanacho Obioma, a former member of the House of Representatives and acting chairman-elect of Abia State. Gentlemen, let me start with you. Iheanacho, you'd heard about the zoning issue, and that seems to be one singular action or bone of contention that is rocking the APC, that is not making the APC move forward, particularly with hosting or having its national convention, tearing the party apart. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's clearly true that in our constitution we don't have the zoning issues. But the Constitution also recognizes that every facet and aspect of this country must be given their due place. What that means, in every situation, you consider the other section of the country. Let me talk about APC, for example. When APC was born, and then we were talking about presidential candidates, it was very clear to everybody, knowing that the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, coming from the South, was hesitant. And then that the right thing for us to do was to go to the North. And to that extent, most of us who are from the Southeast and the South in general, we decided then to back President Muhammad Buhari. When he came for his primaries, when he was moving around the states, to canvass for votes, it was in my home that he was hosted in 2014, 2015. And then we made up our mind that we were going to go that way. And then Governor Rocha Sokorocha, former governor, then Imo, was in that race. And we made it clear to him that that was no position for the South. And that we were not going to support him. Rather, we were going to choose between Atiku and Muhammad Buhari. And at the end of the day, majority of the members that day in Onikon Stadium voted for President Muhammad Buhari. So no Southern, nobody gave consideration. So as it's existing after 8 years, I mean, it is fair and normal that for our party, that it shouldn't be an issue that the presidency should return to this other way. I know that the other party, PDP, might be considering maybe what will give them advantage, maybe thinking, oh, there is greater number of population of voters from the North. To that extent, that shouldn't be it. It's not about winning, it's about doing the right thing. I believe that the elders that made today, even though it might not be a threat, this is something that can be, discussed and agreed that let every party go to the South to get their presidential candidate. I think is the right decision to do.
All right, Frank Tietie, what say you? Is it the right thing? I mean, Ohaneze Ndigbo and other Southeasterners are saying, as a matter of fact, other parts of the country, they are saying it is a matter of fairness, equity, and justice that a candidate from the Southeast should emerge in 2023. What are your thoughts on that? Is it too much to ask? Again, that's a question.
Not at all. I think in fairness, there is absolutely no doubt about the fact that the Southeast is due to produce the president of this country. After all, between 1979 and 1983, and expectedly in 1987, we had a Southeasterner as vice president in the person of Dr. Alex Ekweme, as vice president being to Alhaji Shehu Shagari. It was expected, again, by the most nationalistic party ever in the history of this country, I'm talking about the NPN, National Party of Nigeria, that an Igbo man would have actually come up to contest in the person of Ekweme, to come up to contest for the presidency in 1987, and absolutely nothing would have stopped him from winning, given the power and the spread of NPN at that time. But all of those dreams were truncated by the military invasion, or rather intervention, in 1983 by the current president, then Major General Muhammadu Buhari. Again, but unfortunately, the Southeast appears not to be getting its political acts right. Again, I like to mention this. I think the APC is closer to understanding, I will put it that way, the zoning, the need for zoning, which is very important in our politics. It is for stability, for fairness, and for balance. Whether you like it or not, in 1959. It was either Tafawa Balewa as prime minister, and then you had the president being an Igbo man, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. And then when it happened that for a long time, especially between 1983 and 1999, it was the military that ruled this country, dominated by officers from the northern part of this country. It was only fair that in 1999, as the military advised itself to leave the stage, power went to the southern Nigeria, and then to assuage southwestern Nigeria that had one of its own that won the presidency in 1993, it was exclusively an issue and exclusively a post for southwestern Nigeria. That's why you had Olufalaye and Chief Olusegun Obasanjo came out at that time. So zoning is a very innovative tool to which we should credit the Nigerian political system to have created. It's one way, one very inscrutable way we have been able to manage our political diversity. Nobody should throw it away. Even when it came up as an issue in 2011, unfortunately, it almost became a problem because a northern president died. And then there was Goodluck Jonathan, who didn't quite understand. Zoning still solved the problem. You know, I would like to end by saying that Nigerian politicians need to understand, to go back to history. I give much credit to Mike Ozekome SN, who has documented the importance of zoning, its legality, and its importance in terms of solving political problems in his book, Zoning to the Unzoned. And when they look at that book, it's a compendium of the thoughts of many political leaders on the issue of zoning, and I don't think we'll have any problem. The APC seems to be on the right path. Atiku Abubakar is posing a big problem for PDP at this moment, because you just had an Hausa Fulani man, the president or the current president.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Who has ruled for 8 years?
All right. I know if we give Frank Tietie more time, he's still going to talk more. But thanks very much, Frank Tietie, as a lawyer and a RISE analyst, and Honorable Iheanacho Obioma, former member of the House of Representatives and the acting chairman-elect of APC in Abia State.
All right.